angel of the Lord. So, in the Bible, reality is made up of two overlapping realms, the heaven and the earth. Our space and God's space, and wildlife here on earth may seem ordinary. Sometimes we can encounter heaven right here in our realm. Yes, this happens a number of times in the Bible. When it does, we often encounter a fascinating character, the angel of Yahweh. Or in most translation of the Bible, the angel of the Lord. So today we're talking about the angel of the Lord. Hi, my name is Emmanuel, and welcome to my new mini Bible lesson. Now, we've talked about angels. There are spiritual messengers who perform missions for God. But the angel of the Lord is no mere angel. Also, well, every time he appears, he is described in a way that is purposefully puzzling. It leaves you wondering, was that an angel sent by Yahweh, or was that Yahweh himself? What do you mean? So, I mean that there is one of many examples. In the book of Genesis, there is a story about Hagar. Okay, so Abraham and Sarah's runaway Egyptian slave. Okay, we read this. The angel of Yahweh called to Hagar, but then this angel speaks as if he is Yahweh, saying, I will give you many descendants. And then Hagar responds and says, you are God who sees me. So, yeah, well, you are God who sees me. So, here is going to bring to a dot. We say the angel of Yahweh, but the angel of Yahweh is also Yahweh. So, but that can't be. Granting that can't be. Well, in the Bible, you cannot see Yahweh, or you will die. So, this story and others like it are inviting us to a paradox, that Yahweh is above all inaccessible to us, but sometimes he reveals himself to us in ways that we can see and understand. That is where this character shows up. He is Yahweh made visible to us. Yes, distinct from Yahweh and also Yahweh. This is very similar to other biblical stories about prophets who get a glimpse into God's space, like Isaiah, Ezekiel, or Daniel. What they see is a glorious human figure on a throne who is called Yahweh. So the one on the throne and the angel of Yahweh are the same person? Exactly. Watch all this come together in the famous story of Moses and the burning bush. So let's see the story of Moses and the burning bush. Where we read, the angel of Yahweh appeared to Moses in a blazing fire from the midst of a bush, right? So, when Yahweh saw that Moses stopped to look, God called to him from the midst of a bush. So, this person in the bush is called the angel of Yahweh. Then Yahweh, then God. We can see three names: the angel of Yahweh, Yahweh, and God. Then later in the history of Moses, learns that the figure in the burning bush is the one leading Israel out of Egypt in the pillar of fire and cloud. So that is the one who later takes up the tabernacle residence. The tabernacle, this is the throne room of God himself. You got it. The angel of the Lord is the royal glory of Yahweh, appearing as human. Keep all this in mind. Keep all this in mind as we start talking about Jesus Christ. In the opening of the Gospel of John, we are told that from all eternity, Jesus was with God and was God. Distinct from God and also God. That is the same paradox we saw with the angel of Yahweh. Right. The angel of Yahweh is distinct from Yahweh, but is also Yahweh. So Jesus is distinct from God, but is also God. Then John says that God's word became human and set up a tabernacle among us. The temple presence of the invisible God. Exactly. Now, check this out. There is a story about when Jesus took 3 of his followers up to a mountain and his true identity was revealed. He was transformed into a glorious human figure. Okay, I see what is going on there. So the angel of the Lord was God, appearing like a human, and Jesus is God, now became a human. Yes, and notice this. In the New Testament, no one ever used the phrase angel of the Lord to describe Jesus. So you're going to ask me, why not? Well, they wanted to avoid the idea that Jesus was merely an angel. They wanted to emphasize Jesus to a next level, wanted to raise him up to a next level. So what's like, for them, Jesus was Yahweh. God became human. In order to fulfill his ultimate mission to fully reunite heaven and earth once and for all. You just watch a video on the angel of Lord. Bye bye everyone. We'll see you next time for a new mini Bible